Hi, my name is Vishal Algiri and welcome to my channel. First of all, I would love to thank all of you for showing your love and support to my content and especially the previous one, wherein we got an opportunity to interact with none other than Mr. Raghu Tekriwal. What a session it was, filled with knowledge. And trust me, today's session is no lesser than that because we have invited one of the finest personalities I have met in my career. Trust me, he's a friend I really cherish. He is one such personality. If you call energy, you are going to see real energy today. If you want to talk about patriotism, he is the real patriot available in India right now. Trust me, filled with energy, filled with patriotism, and filled with lot of commitment. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a friendly talk with none other than Mr. Vinay Patil. Welcome Vinay sir. Welcome to our channel. I have been waiting for this day for so long to get you here and dive deep inside your life and get something out of it for my friends, my family, all those people, those who listen to us and expect that they can learn from all those aspects of life which they haven't lived through yet. But before going ahead, I thought, why shouldn't I speak in Kannada? Because Mr. Vinay Patil is here, the one who is the representation of Karnataka amongst all the youngsters. And me being a Kannadiga, I know a little bit of Kannada, but then I'll try doing so. ಸರ್ ಭಾಳ ದಿವಸದಿಂದ ನಿಮಗೆ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಕರೋದು ಇಚ್ಛಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಇವತ್ತು 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 ನೀವು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಕ್ಕೆ ನನ್ನ ಇಚ್ಛಾ ಪೂರ್ಣ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. And thank you so much for taking out this time, Vinay sir. And let us move on. And I hope you are in a pink of health.
Absolutely.
How are you, sir?
I'm wonderful. First of all, again, I thank you, Vishalji, for having me here. It's a pleasure to be invited by you. It's definitely a pleasure that such a wonderful and I would say you are a reflection of absolute positivity. A person, jinke saath you can just connect with heart to heart. And you are such one person, and I'm so happy that you made an effort to invite me in my mother tongue Kannada. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you. No, that's my mother tongue too, sir. But then my story is little different. I have been all over the place, and I know little bit of Marathi, Kannada, little bit of Gujarati, English, so mix of a lot. But then sometimes you feel uncomfortable talking the language which someone else has been speaking throughout his life. So amongst my family, it is easy to speak Kannada because all of us, like, we speak broken Kannada only. Anyways, sir, Vinay sir, I have known you for past 10-15 years now, and we always had that kind of a mutual admiration society wherein we learned from each other. I know you. Many people, those who have worked with us for past many years, they know you. Vinay Patil as a brand, everyone is aware about. But then Vinay Patil as a human being, there are very few people, those who understand that aspect of it. The point to bring this is because most of the times people feel that heroes are born heroes. But I think that is not the case. People are born like normal people. They do something in their life which makes them a hero. The kind of mindset they have, that makes them the hero. Not the body, but what is inside makes them the hero. So before moving further, I want Mr. Vinay Patil to be relatable to each and every other individual out there who's watching this video. So if you can briefly give me a basic introduction about you, what you have been, where have you studied, what were your goals, what were your dreams, and how have been your past 25-30 years of life. A brief of it.
Absolutely. I basically belong, though many people consider me as a Bangalorean, but 50% of my life has been spent in the northern region of Karnataka. In fact, I belong to a family of farmers. My grandfather was a farmer, turned a sailor in Royal Indian Navy way before independence. That's how we got an exposure traveling to various countries overseas through sea routes. That's when he got exposed how it is important to have education. So he came back and he continued to be a farmer, but then he ensured to all his children get that good education, and that's how my dad was able to move out of. It's a very remotest place, I'm telling you. You can't even map it on Google, but of lately it has come now. It didn't even had a post office, right? We come from that background. And then my dad moved to various places in Karnataka, and then he got into banking sector, and even he realized how important the education was. So he made sure that we are three brothers. he ensured that he never compromised on education. Yes, he definitely compromised. He made us compromise on luxury, but when it came to education, no compromise at all. And that's how a LKG kid, right? I was not in Bangalore that time. An LKG kid studied in a place called Gokak, which comes in Belgaum district. It's in the border of Maharashtra.
Mm-hmm.
I just studied there one
Right,
year, then
right.
moved to a very famous. It's a taluk headquarters. It's not a district headquarters. It's a taluk, a place called Gangavati in northern region of Karnataka. Very famous for paddy. I was brought up there for 5 years.
Okay.
Then I moved to a place called Gadag. That is the district headquarters. There I
Uh-huh.
studied 1 year, and I made my preparations to crack this All India Sainik School entrance examinations. And thankfully, in the year
Great.
1998, I got 22nd rank across state, and I was I was admitted into Sainik School Bijapur, where my real transformation
Okay.
took place. So many people know that Sainik School Bijapur, I have been there, but yes, there are some incidents over there which actually changed my mindset. Ended up as a national hockey player when I was in that school. Came out to Bangalore in the year 2003, and the best part is I got into one of the most premier institutes in Bangalore, St. Joseph's College, where I did my plus two, which we call here as pre-university course. And post that, as usual, I
Right.
wrote my CET examination and ended up as an engineer. You know, right? We are from Bangalore. Naturally, everybody becomes engineer first, then we choose what we want to become in life. So I ended up in top 10 colleges of Karnataka, having scored a good percentage in my plus two. And that's how, yeah, I ended up being an engineer, but eventually things turned out that everybody knows.
Actually, right. Vinay sir, that's really exciting. But then you have always been called the Josh machine. Are you the same whenever you are on stage? Because people know what Vinay Patil is on stage. How is he in his personal life? Is he that Joshful at home as well?
Okay, see, I'll be very honest with you. The word, the Josh machine, trust me, it has made me more professional in my life, more accountable, more responsible when I am in that professional domain. But having said that, in personal
Okay.
domain too, I have that Josh. See, I'm telling you, I am not a person who crib about work or crib about pain or struggle. I never do that. I've seen people cribbing about smallest of the small things. For me, the Josh which is exhibited on professional stage, I may not exhibit in the same way in my personal life through words, but it is definitely through my action. In simple words, I'll just take an example. Now, in my home, my parents can definitely endorse that. Even my wife will agree to this point that I'm a person who ends up sleeping at 2 o'clock, but I'll never crib about that I lost a sleep. I wake up at 6 o'clock and I'm there the same energy with that excitement. I have taken so many conferences or even at home when you are completely involved in day to day activities. I don't complain. In simple words, I don't have the attitude of complaining. ठीक है तो करेंगे बस, right? But what people have not seen about me, yes, in my Instagram channel also, people see me very professional there. But yeah, I may be called as Josh Machine in the public domain, but in my personal life, I'm actually the coolest machine, or you can simply call cool machine, because I really
Indeed.
ensure that uh, I try my best to keep that environment very lively, jovial, uh, because I'm a person who doesn't like anybody getting upset unnecessarily. See, it is okay to be angry. It is okay to be frustrated. It is okay to feel sad. That is a human emotion. But I don't like people hanging on to those kind of emotions for a long time, which affects the entire family's,
Actually.
right? The family dynamics get affected. So if you ask me in simple words, I am the mediator. I am the guy who do that conflict resolution at home. I don't let anybody fight a lot. So that's why, yeah, you can give this term
Okay.
cool machine. What people don't know about me is I am actually fun and cool machine. Enjoys to the enjoys in the way maybe people would not even imagine, because they have seen me a very serious face on stages that okay, this guy seems very serious, because my voice is like that. See, I have been an NCC commander in my school in parades, and also my voice, I am gifted. I'll be very honest. I'm gifted with my voice.
Yeah.
How much ever I take my conference talks, I don't lose my voice. I don't know. I thank God in this particular aspect. So because my voice is so commanding, people assume and presume that this chap has to be a damn serious guy. But only people who have traveled with me to international countries, the way we have traveled, they only know that I'm the most fun-loving guy. So this is one side. Many people don't
Yes,
know about
indeed.
it.
I believe so. And trust me, Vinay sir, I really feel this coolness in any kind of a situation comes from your experience as well. Because whatever I have said till now, I can pretty much gauge out of it is that you have traveled a
Yes,
lot, right?
absolutely.
If for 2 years you are staying in one city, then 2 years you stayed in another city, then suddenly you jumped onto the Bangalore, and that's what changes things in your life. You keep on traveling, you keep on making new friends, you keep on losing old friends, then again your life is new. It restarts again and again. So every time you cannot keep getting frustrated. So your experience, your life must have taught you a lot, right? And especially being in a Sainik school, right? All of us know the kind of discipline in military or army or defense. It is as good as left, right,
Yes.
chalo parade, aage badho. But then I really feels it is something more than that. It is something more than that which you implement in your personal life. And I can guarantee it for sure, Vinay sir, that you are a purely, I can guarantee about it that you are a cutout for defense. You look like a guy who is from defense. You sound like a guy who is from defense. That's so wonderful, sir. That's so wonderful. Let us move little bit further, because this is the Vinay Patil no one knew. But there is another Vinay Patil that everyone knows. That the one who's on stage, saying something, and the whole crowd is listening to you. What provoked you? You are, as in, you have already said that your dad was from your grandpa was in Navy, your dad was in a Canara Bank, then you got into engineering. So there must be examples of your siblings as well, those who have done well in their particular careers. So you are already there into engineering, right? You are already doing something. Our all lives, being an Indian, our all lives are controlled by, in a way, facilitated by our parents. They put money into our pocket. We don't need to worry about our college fees. We don't need to worry about our next meal. So most of the things are pretty much settled. So what provoked you to go for something else? Right? I know, since all of us started in the year 2006, I
Yes,
suppose,
absolutely.
right, sir?
Yes.
I also started in 2006, so you must be an 18, 19-year-old kid by then, and you are having, everything was good, everything was hunky-dory. Then what provoked you to get into doing something extra, getting into direct selling, reaching out to people, working on a mission? What was that all about? How did that happen in your life?
Okay. Uh, See, for all this, that extra thing which you said, when everything is set, still why were you stretching yourself? It is simply because all 100% credit, not 10%, not 50%, not 99.99% also. The 100% credit goes to my dad. Because I'll tell you the reason. See, I did have that opportunity to travel through various schools, various cities. I studied in different schools, so it was very natural that I got good exposure. No doubt about that. But
Yeah.
and yes, in Sainik School Bijapur, I did participate in a lot of extracurricular activities. That was all good. That was all fine. That's how I ended up becoming a national hockey player too. And even I was a gymnast, district level gymnast also. So jumping into ring of fire, all that.
Wow.
So
Ah.
I did try in various aspects in school. That was fine. But till I reached Bangalore, because the reason I am taking this example is simply because I know it will take 5-10 minutes for this answer. But
That's
let
okay.
me be very honest with you. Most of the time, it happens with many students during their school days. They spend a lot of time, the majority of their time in that one particular school. Though it is a good thing that your friendship is built, for lifetime in those schools, but there is always one more downside to it, and that is somewhere we become too comfortable to try something new because they're all your friends. Everything is fine, absolutely
Yeah.
fine. That is where I see most of the students or most of the youngsters post their school when they get into a plus two or when they get into professional courses. They tend to start suppressing their aspirations, they suppress their own talents because they get into the comparison mode. Why I give credit to my
Yeah.
dad? Because I was also going through that same pain or same dilemma or same trauma, I would say. Because when I came to Bangalore, I was so damn excited. It was exactly in the year 2003. Why I was so excited? Because I got myself into St. Joseph's College. It's a premier institute where Rahul Dravid, uh, Prakash Raj, then the great singer in Kannada industry, many such names have come out of that institution. So I was delighted to be a part of that institution, and moreover, that institution supported sports crazily. And considering that I was a national hockey player, I got into that institution. Now, see, on one side, there is an excitement that I'm getting there, but I never knew that this same institution could, at first go, it actually hit my self esteem because the moment I entered college with excitement, I was dumbstruck with the kind of communication people had. And I come from the northern region of Karnataka. Forget English. I was not even knowing Bangalore Kannada. Bangalore Kannada is very much conditioned.
Yeah.
North Karnataka is
I
like
know,
if you
I
start
know.
speaking, people assume that you are scolding them. Now, from
Yeah.
a guy from there has to come and connect with these kind of people who are completely polished, completely conditioned, and the attitude, not the cool attitude. Yo, bro, what's up, man? What's up,
The
dude?
yo wala.
I was like, where the hell did I come? Where did I end up? And I saw, okay, one side if it was communication, the other side was complete lifestyle. The kind of dressing, the branded clothes, the branded shoes. Are one of my friend, he had O2 phone. Can you believe? Way back, it was in 2003.
Yeah, those days it used to be the
It
most
was expensive,
expensive phone
30K
then.
something in 2003, 18 years back. And he was owning that phone.
And it was a big
I
deal.
was using 1 rupee coin booth that time. Just put that 1 rupee and you get 1 minute to speak.
Yeah, a red color box.
So I just lost it when I entered that college. I just went back, rushed back home. I said, Dad, I can't. I'm a misfit here. Please send me back to some northern region of Karnataka. Like there are educational hubs in North Karnataka as well, Hubli, Dharwad, Davangere.
Yeah.
My dad said, okay, what happened? You tell me.
Renowned
No,
ones.
go. Dad, these guys will just look at them. What happened? You tell me. No, I'm feeling I'm really ordinary. See, I was a national hockey player, damn it. 84% in CBSE, gymnast, artist, so many things. They all took on one side, inferiority complex came on another side, just because I was not able to, because I ended up in comparison. When I said ordinary, my dad actually sat.
Right.
See, my dad had this habit of reading a lot of articles way back. I don't know. Even though he was in this busy banking work, he made sure that he read certain articles. And today the story is a cliche. But yet, those days he made me, that story actually made me understand what it is important to have higher self-esteem in life. Even though you may not be good in certain aspects. And he made me understand with the simple game of chess. He said, see, Vinay, you know the game of chess, simple, right? It's a checkerboard, 64 squares, right? Now you tell me,
Yes.
how does this camel move? Well, diagonally? Yeah, cool. Because I knew the game of chess way back from 4th standard itself. How about the elephant? Horizontal or vertical? Then how about the horse?
Yeah.
L-shaped. It is called 2.5 steps. Then how
Two
about
and
the
a half,
queen?
sir.
Queen, you don't even ask. She goes on a rampage. Any direction except
Rampage.
L-shape. Then what about this simple small soldier? I told it's an irrelevant pawn. It's useless. I don't know what my dad said. Great players, they rely on these small irrelevant guy. In the entire game, sometimes they lose their queen, they lose their horse. But you know why they rely on this? Because that guy, that chap, he has such a potential. If he just goes 6 steps on the other side of the board, he is bestowed with immense power to choose whatever he wants to become. That no other pawn in the game
Wow.
has. Horse will play as a horse, die as a horse. Elephant will play as an elephant, it will die as an elephant. But only that soldier has
Absolutely.
been gifted. If it just takes that minute 6 steps on the other side of the board, you can choose to become whatever you want. So Vinay, now you tell me, are you ordinary?
Wonderful.
No, Dad. So don't get into unwanted comparison. Everybody is good in their own level. You don't have to go and compete with them. Whatever are your strengths, you work on that. And this one statement, Vishalji, I'll tell you, it made me participate in so many things which I was not even aware. And ended up winning 26 prizes in 11th standard. And even I was awarded Best Artist of the Year.
Wonderful.
Today,
Wow.
I was not knowing that I had those talent of, face painting, collage, jewelry designing. What is that? Use some grains and do it. Vegetable carving. And in Kannada, what to say? We had something mono acting in, the Kannada Association. They had Bhava Gite, means where you get the feelings out, the poetic songs, which are not the film songs. I participated. I don't know. I just worked on my strengths. Ended up winning 26 prizes. Why I'm sharing this, Vishalji? Simply because everyone goes through that uncomfortable zone, and during that uncomfortable zone, somewhere we suppress our talents rather than expressing it, because we tend to compare with others.
So true.
And this one thing hit me so deeply. After that, it never mattered to me if somebody is a bro or a dude or a hairstyle. He has a nice hairstyle. And that time the trend was about coloring the hairs. People were coloring crazily.
Yeah,
I
those
was
days.
like,
True.
see, I felt that these things should not define my self-esteem. I know what is deep inside me. Yes, see, I'm not against those people who are doing that. I respect their way of living, but I respect my way of living as well. It never mattered that time whether I wear a branded shoes or branded clothes. What I am, I am. I never stayed anymore in the state of denial. Because I feel it is that acceptance. Now, because of which, when I got into engineering, see, you will not believe that was the first time I got into co-education. Till that time, it was completely boys' school, boys' college. Now, my goodness, when girls came,
Oh my God, bro. That was a big
when
change.
girls used to come, especially Bangalore girls, very confident lot. I used to literally take U-turn in that corridor when three girls are coming. I used to take a U-turn, that kind of a guy. But then again, I invested myself in participating in various events. In my first year of engineering, I was part of 5 teams in college: college football team, college athletics team, college cross country team, college badminton team, and college cultural team. Unfortunately, we didn't have hockey team because I was the only hockey player in the college.
And
So I couldn't form a team, unfortunately. But yes, I was a part of 5 teams. I kept myself damn busy.
Wonderful.
And that's when in 2006, I got an opportunity or a platform. I was really, really excited to explore it. See, again, I'm not telling that I had certain dreams. I'll be very honest with you. It's not that I had big dreams or something. I always felt that whenever you just participate into some events, you start exploring yourself. And why I'm giving all the credit to my dad is simply because in my plus 2, you will not believe, he made me write around 6-7 examinations. He never expected. He told, don't worry, whether you select or don't select, it does not matter. You need to get that exposure. I wrote All India Pre-Medical Test Examination, AIPMT. That time it was AIPMT. Then we had Armed Force Medical College, AFMC. Then National Defense Academy,
Yes.
NDA examination, which is conducted by UPSC. Then TS, Technical Entry Scheme, where you go and give interviews, Service Selection Board interviews, SSB interviews. Then he made me write AIEEE for engineering. Then our CET. I have just written examination. He told you, don't worry about the result. You just go get that exposure. So if you ask me,
Perfect.
what at the end of the day made me feel to go and, do something along with my studies, the attitude of exploring. So I'm being very honest. I didn't have any dreams. Eventually, when I saw that, yes, I can have those dreams. It came over the period of time.
That's absolutely right, Vinay sir. Matlab, I really feel this is a way you get into something. Your life and my life seems to be pretty much similar. I was studying in Nagpur and I was okay in my education. I did not participate in any kind of events. For the whole of my life, I have only participated in most of the drawing competitions or Rangoli competitions. That's it. And that too, I never expected that I'll win a prize or, do something out of it. I just knew that I can paint and I can participate. And rest, those chamcha limbu, teen pair ki dod and all, they don't count. Right? And then I scored really well in my diploma exams, came to Mumbai. Similar situation happened with me. My college was in Andheri, Sardar Patel College, Bhavan's group, Bharati Vidya Bhavan's group. So many of those people used to come there in their own cars and I was there, right? Came from a small town, had a, typical checkered shirt and a jeans and a sports shoe beneath that. And I used to walk to the college. There was this inferiority complex. But then the moment I realized कि तेल लेने गई दुनिया, I need to explore it more. It became easier. The moment you stop worrying about people's opinion, it becomes easier.
True.
And the way you said when you were offered this opportunity in 2006, it was not more about achieving dreams, it was about exploration.
Yes.
I really feel so, sir. If at all this kind of a message goes through and people understand it properly, then they will start trying out so many things in their life. Everyone has so much of potential, right? Everyone can be an asset. Only thing is that they haven't been using their skills, they haven't been using their ability or life or so. Anyways, sir, I know you might have said that you did not start this work, you did not get into direct selling just for the sake of dreams. But later on you had dreams, right? We write down those dreams in your diary and all. But to an extent, what I know about you, you started in 2006.
Yes.
And you got the real kind of recognition, that national fame and national recognition, you got it in the year 2012.
Yes.
So 6 years you were dormant in terms of fame, not in terms of activity, right? You are there. You are there in Karnataka, and already so many faces had come up from Karnataka. Those who are already doing so well, they were acknowledged at national level. But then you are still waiting out there. You are doing your work every single day, I'm sure, without fail. But then what kept you going? If you have a dream, then people have this tendency of going for it as soon as possible, right? They need
True.
instant gratification. But you waited for 6 years. Wait will be a wrong word. Patience might also be a wrong word. What were you doing then? So what kept you going for 6 years?
I know it is, this 6 years which you are trying to bring in front of my face right now, it actually has a very strong memories associated. Now, whenever I hear that, I don't know, I just little bit melt, or I tend to become little emotional because, see, I would not regret or something that I got success little late, but I feel that, there is one instance, right, which they say, uh, the bamboo tree takes some 4 5 years to grow its roots, then in no
Roots.
time it just grows crazily. Maybe that is damn synonymous with my life. When maybe others were celebrating their success, I was deeply rooting myself continuously, because I knew that I was bound to become successful. Because I'll tell you, I have this one attitude in me, being a sports person, that you just can't give up. If you have chosen from your heart, it is said, right, you think 1,000 times before you take a decision. These people read this, people update status, Instagram, WhatsApp, all that, but trust me, sometimes we need to go beyond those quotes. We can't
Right.
limit our, it's that quote is not to just get some likes or comments from people. These quotes have an underlying meaning, and they hold that value only when you truly execute it, right? And every single quote, if I share with somebody, I mean it. It is not just to inspire somebody or motivate someone. I have gone through that. That is why I share that. Now, why I'm sharing this never give up thing is simply because it all roots back to again 2002, when I was a national hockey player. Our school was hosting, it was a hat trick year for us to win that inter-zonal. We had 26 schools across India, and there were four schools, one from north, south, east, west, and we were from representing south, and we were the host as well. So, the first
Oh,
match was with Satara, that is from Maharashtra West Zone.
West Zone.
Now, I was so excited. I was in 10th standard. There are a lot of hopes from us that, okay, these guys will get this hat trick win. Now, when I went there, you will not believe, the first match, I was just dribbling the ball. I had the control of that ball. When I was dribbling that ball, suddenly one guy, I just, what to say, I bluffed him and I moved in front. Immediately,
Oh.
because I bluffed him, he still wanted to try to tackle that ball, and he put a stick. He locked my stick. I was in such a
Oh.
momentum that because that stick was locked, I took that somersault. I fell down.
Ah.
I don't know what happened to me. I was experiencing excruciating pain. Immediately, I'm telling you, in my life, I had never taken substitutions. I told
Oh.
the referee, substitution, substitution, substitution. I just went away and I slept on the bench outside. I was not knowing what was hurting me, where was the wound. I was not knowing. I just knew that I was in a deep, 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 deep pain. That's it. Then all the audience, spectators, juniors who were watching, usually 2 years senior, they call sir. They started looking at me, sir, sir, my God, sir, what has happened to you? I was not knowing why are they behaving like this. I just got up. I was in a sleeping posture. I just got up, looked at my knee. I was able to see a bone. That was so much a
Oh.
deep cut at my knee, and my two hands, there were deep cut here, and that is very whole hockey stick.
My God.
I literally
Right.
fainted. I literally fainted, and then you know what? The best thing happened. See, that is the best lesson that has happened in my life, and I always give credit to this one personality, my coach, my hockey coach, because I have learned most of the life's lessons not in the classrooms. It was in the hockey field. He came immediately. He removed that whistle. He hit all those juniors. He told, "Get out from here! Shut up and get out!" Then he told, "When I get up," I told, "Sir, get." Then he called that medical assistant. Get him dressed quickly. He is going to play again. I told, "What's wrong with you? I can see my bone here." Nothing has happened, Vinay. You get up, get rest. This kind of his statement made me feel that he believes in me so much. He believes in my capabilities. Now immediately they put me, all that bandage, everything. I got into the field. That time only my forward was taking the ball. Then I got into that striking circle which we call D in hockey. He hit that ball. Slowly it came, and there was a small stone and a ball rose. I gave it was like a sixer, and it was a goal.
Ah.
We won that match crazily 3-2. And after that, headmaster was a lieutenant commander. He comes to me and says, Vinay, I think you need that medical attention because it was bleeding continuously. Then I went to doctor. Doctor said that, Vinay, we need to stitch. 6 stitches are required. I said, okay, I'll get it stitched. So next 2 matches I can play, right? No. Because once you stitch, you need that rest. You can't bend it. And it was at a knee, right? So you need to bend while running.
Yeah.
Do you know what was my statement? Because my coach believed in me, I just said this statement to doctor. It's okay, doctor, I don't need the stitch. I'll play the next 2 games. One I had to play with Punjab, Kapurthala, and one more I had to play with Orissa, Bhubaneswar. You will not believe. He said that, see, if I don't stitch today, it may take 2 months to recover. There will be a lot of infection because it's a deep cut wound. No problem, sir. And Vishalji, I have to tell you, 2 months I suffered, but because I took that decision, we were able to win that inter-zone championship. And I happened to score one creative goal or innovative goal or out-of-the-box goal, which is still remembered and celebrated in my school. That was scooping the ball above the head of the goalkeeper. Usually we hit the goal.
Wow.
Because that goal, he was Jat, Punjabi. My God, the way he was blocking the entire, goal post. So we were trying to hit and we were not able to go near him. So because he seemed very dangerous, he was hitting the pad with his hockey stick. Aajao bhai, aajao, dikha do. These kind of statements, we were so young, yaar. So I found a innovative way that, okay, it's better not to hit on the ground. When he's in the front, why don't you scoop the ball and it goes behind him? And that's how I had scored the goal. So why I'm narrating this incident is simply because as a sports person, somewhere it comes deep inside you. That spirit, what you call, that never give up. Because you have thought, right? You're playing, it is something like you're playing for the country. Now, if you ask me that I got 6 years, the success, in that aspect, it was about the word. If you ask me, sir, why you didn't quit? Word. Pran jaye, magar vachan na jaye.
Vachan na jaye.
In Kannada, we say, Mat andre matu. If you commit to somebody, or if you commit to yourself, you need to live by it. I know it seems very philosophical, but the truth is truth. It is absolute truth. Because today I see many youngsters, I'll call you back in 10 minutes. You never get that call back. They don't even acknowledge. People say that, okay, we'll meet at 7:30. They come at 8:30. Even if they're late, they don't even feel that they're responsible to leave a message. I'll tell you, Vishalji, from the biggest of the biggest things to smallest of the smallest things, I honor the word. If somebody says 7:30, I will fight with the word, I will fight with my family to ensure that I am there at 7:30. Even if I have to fight with my wife, because there is one important work as well. I said, no, sorry, I have committed somebody already 7:30. That 6 years, I was able to hold everything because I had given word to myself and the people surrounding me. If I would have given up on that word, somewhere I would have lived my life with that misery and that regret. And everybody would have had that, everybody would have taken that advantage. You used to tell a lot, what happened? Huh? What happened? People have this habit, you fought for something. If you didn't succeed, they tend to squeeze you again and again using
They're
that
waiting
word.
out there.
They're waiting out there. I never gave chance for anybody to have that last laugh because last laugh is always supposed to be the loudest one. And I wanted to have that.
Yes.
But today when I see youngsters, 2-3 dreams they take, they work for 2-3 months. It is not working out for me, bro. In the world of everything instant gratification, they want instant coffee. They want instant, they can't even have that patience when it is loading on YouTube. Correct, right? Why? What is happening? They want everything instant. See, if you say that the technology has given, it has opened the minds of people about dreams, the technology also has done a negative thing. It has put in people's mind that you need to get everything fast. According to me,
Yes.
fast is important. I'm not denying. But the strongest is also important. Fast is fine, but you need to strengthen yourself. You may grow fast today, but you will fall down also fast. So, all in all, to summarize this thing that 6 years, I never kept my dreams on somebody's shoulder. I can put it in a simple line. I never kept my dreams on somebody's shoulder. That is why I never became a victim of situation. I took the, what to say, I took the control of that situation. Today I see people, because he didn't cooperate with me, I failed. Because my mentor didn't guide me properly, I failed. Because my family didn't support me, I failed. Because my friends made fun of me, I failed. Because government didn't support me, I failed. Because my HOD in college didn't support me, I failed. We find numerous ways to convince the world that why I failed. Why can't we find one reason why we want to succeed? And I found that one particular
Yes,
reason.
indeed.
And that was more than enough for me to hold on. Sir, it was 6 years. I could have held for 16 years also. I could have held that
Wonderful.
16 years. It is not about waiting. With what mindset you are waiting, that is also important. I am not telling youngsters here. Through you, I want to give message to everyone that it's not about wait. With what mindset you are waiting, that defines you. Are you still you're waiting for that some miracle to happen? Or you're waiting with that right mindset? Waiting in the sense, you're, what to say?
You have to keep doing something. You cannot just wait on the bus stop.
Yes, absolutely. Right? So, because it's not everyone's cup of tea, it takes a toll on you. It takes a toll on you. If you are only strong, then you have to go all in. So, that is the thing.
Right. Absolutely. Vinay sir, it is so true that in earlier days it was really difficult because India was not such a great country.
Correct.
As in, we knew it in our minds, but in reality, economically, we were not doing so great. And so it was really difficult to dream amongst poverty. When you see people suffering around, then it is really difficult to have a dream. But then it has become little more easier these days because of advent of technology, internet, movie, Bollywood, dharma production. People can easily have dreams. But I really feel achieving those dreams is as difficult as it used to be. Right? Having a dream needs a brilliant mind. But working for your dream needs a stronger mind. And the way you said, it is more important, it is at least not, if not more, as important as being fast. Isn't that, sir?
Correct.
And then that's when most of the people, I really feel most of the people suffer when they need confirmation from the society, from the people.
Yes.
And you said that you were there telling everyone that I'm going to do this, I'm going to fulfill those dreams. People might, hit you back and ask the same question, ki kya hua tere dreams ka? But that's when you have to realize all these are external factors. They might come and go, but what you can control is the inside weather. Exactly. And you held it for 6 long years, sir. 6 years are not really small. 6 years are as good as 12 multiplied by 6 months, 52 multiplied by 6, those many weeks, and 365 multiplied by 6, those many days. You stood tall. It's not easy. But then, you don't get much doing easy stuff, right? True. And it's something, do you believe in destiny? Right? Sometimes it is out there for you to achieve, whether it may take 6 years or 60 long years. You already said you are ready to wait for 16 years.
Yeah. See, it's not that I don't believe in destiny. Definitely I believe in destiny. But destiny is not like a cutout thing for you. But yes, that is a possibility. That is there. Now you need to work to fulfill that. It will just not happen with you. You know that you are bound to be that, but in order to be that, you need to work on yourself to deserve that.
Absolutely.
Right? You have to make yourself deserving to have that destiny accomplished. That is what is my personal feeling.
Now that's so wonderful, Vinay sir. I know it takes a lot to be successful. It's easy to start, but it takes a lot to be successful. Now let us jump on to the other aspect of it. Now, Vinay sir, you are from Bangalore. You are there in Karnataka. You are so-called Kannadiga, whose people call it like you are a South Indian, but rather I'll term it in a different way. You are an Indian from the South, right? Now there is a different aspect to it. Vinay Patil, who speaks Kannada at his place, he might be eating sambar rice at his place. So people usually, they put you in a template and say, okay, he is a South Indian. But now I have seen what Vinay Patil has been. We used to have those conventions in Delhi, 50,000, 60,000 people strong. And people used to wait for this one gentleman to come on stage. Most of them they did not knew those songs which you used to and come up on stage with, right? Those Kannada songs. I know you can dance on that, those Rajkumar songs, you can dance on that, but these rest of the people were enjoying it as well, right? There is a cultural difference, there is a linguistic difference, there is a difference in the way you think about certain situations, right? But how could you connect with those, so many of them? I know there were people in my team, those जो time pass करते रहते, they used to say, oh, विनय सर का time आने वाला है, विनय सर का chance है अभी, सब कुछ छोड़ छाड़ के बैठ जाओ. And there used to be a pin drop silence in among 60,000 people. How could you achieve that? What was this mass appeal all about? How could that turn out to be a simple Kannadiga guy, learning his skills, playing hockey, waiting for 6 long years to achieve his success, and suddenly when he comes on stage, he could appeal to the, national mass, the mass that represents so many different states. How could that happen? How could you do that?
If I little bit go back, I have been addressing the segments like, from 13, 14 age also, the teenagers, the early teens, then the late teens, and then people passing through adolescence and even adults. Now, one thing that has been common when I address a student of 13-year-old or a youth of a middle age 30 also, or the elder, the elder community of 60, 65 also, because I had this opportunity to address all the segments. In fact, just a couple of days back, I was addressing one organization where majority of them were more than 40, 45. What I have ensured, let me be very honest with you, if one person is sitting in front of me, he's sitting in front of you, just one person, or it can be 100 people, or it can be 1,000, or as you said, it can be those indoor stadiums where we have given those talks in front of 60,000 people. One thing that has been common in all these aspects, whether it is numbers or age, is I never took that particular person or particular number of people for granted. I never considered that particular talk to be a formality. Okay, somebody has invited me, I need to just speak. It was never a formality to me. Rather, I have to tell this and accept it today in front of everyone that it was a responsibility to me. It was never a formality. ठीक है, आ गया, हम हो जाएंगे. And trust me, there have been occasions when I have communicated, my talks were like super hit for the crowd. But for me, it was it was utterly a flop one for me. I was unhappy with many of my talks, which many people considered to be super hit. Because I myself knew that what I could have done, I was not able to do it. So if you ask me what is the reason behind that pin drop silence, today let me tell you. When I used to be on stage, if you have noticed, I always looked up to that one last person sitting in that hall, in that stadium or in that hall, in that last person, because I could see the reflection of myself in him. And what is that? The reflection of an ordinary guy from North Karnataka, an ordinary guy who lacked self-esteem, an ordinary guy who didn't have any lifestyle. Forget lifestyle, sir. I didn't even have a hairstyle, and I don't even have one right now. I was able to see that last person and I felt, how can I make that difference in his life in this 30 minutes of time or in this 5 minutes of time? That's all I needed. And maybe that is the reason body never moved. No, none of the people moved because somewhere there was a connect between soul to soul, mind to mind. And let me be very honest, sir. One more thing, it was not about South. The more important thing was about relatability. When I spoke on stage, because when I analyzed my speeches, it was never the cliche talks of motivational speakers, or it was never a talk of just achievements, which usually that happens on stage, that I achieved this, I achieved this. My talks were more relatable of experiences, what a human emotion or the human is going through various emotions. So if you ask me if somewhere people got connected with me, because I spoke about the various emotions you go through during the experience of pursuing your dream. And everybody somewhere they were able to connect. Yes, I went through here. What he speaks is true for me. What he speaks is true for me. He is not speaking something which is a bouncer to me. He is not speaking something which is hypothetical to me. So that is one of the reason. Last year I gave a talk to a bunch of, advocates, the Supreme Court judge, a retired judge was there. Then
Oh,
it was a
nice.
what to say, heterogeneous group, uh, from youth
Huh.
to the what to say, the expert in their own fields, even academicians.
Experts,
When I gave
right.
a talk, there only one statement. I don't know how you inspired us to follow our dreams, because my topic was about giving wings to dreams. They said at 65 I felt
Wow.
that still I have something left in me, that I can go and pursue my dreams. If that was one kind of statement I got from
Hmm.
experts in one of the institution recently, when I was giving a talk, parents were also present. Do you know what that parent says? Get up and says, "Sir, the way you inspired me right now, I am feeling like joining school. मुझे पढ़ना है फिर से." देयर एटीट्यूड वॉज ऑलवेज बीन, अब हमें क्या करना है भाई, बच्चों का काम है पढ़ना, हम क्यों करना है? इवन
Hmm.
वन वन लेडी ऑल्सो सेड, सर हम टीवी देखते हैं, हम हमारा तो काम खत्म हुआ है ना अभी, इसीलिए टीवी देख रहे हैं, बच्चों को तो पढ़ना है.
Hmm.
Who said that? Who said that your time is over? Your time is not over till this heart stops beating. Till that time, your time is on.
Yes,
And because
indeed.
of that parent now reading some fictional books or magazines and cutting the TV, he is able to influence his children. He is leading by example. Today, that is what is the biggest problem with parents. They expect some things from kids by telling them to do, not by leading them from front, not by doing it. So, again, coming back to the stadium, that appeal, sir, I spoke from my heart because I spoke only those things which I had done. I was not telling people what to do, I shared what I did, and that is how people were able to connect with me.
Wonderful, wonderful. I can really feel every single bit of it that you said. When 50,000 people are sitting out there just staring at you, you can't just go on and give a speech to 50,000 people, 50,000 strong stadium. You need to connect with every single one. They're not just a group of people, they're not just
Yes.
mob. There are 50,000 beating hearts. And if you can relate to every single heart out there, and if you can steal one stroke out of each one of them, you will be 50,000
Stronger.
beats
Yes.
stronger. And I feel that's where the energy came from. No wonder you were called the Josh machine. And just to, I don't want to stop it here. I just to extend it little bit more, can you give us a little bit of idea about how that energy came about? I know you look like a guy who's meant for defense. I know you were there in NCC, so you have that kind of a woody voice, timber voice. But then, what was that energy all about? I have seen you on stage, Vinay sir. Every time you are there, even if the whole stadium had air conditioning, you are there. Sweat coming out of your cheeks, and then still delivering it for next 10 minutes. I think you forgot everything else, whether there are 7 billion people in the world or not, whether do I have a family at my home or not, there are my people or someone else's people or not, it does not matter. You just looked at those 50,000 people and give your best. What was that energy all about? How does that come out?
See, sir, I
Yeah, I'm being curious, and that's why I'll
I
keep
know that. I
asking
know
such
that.
questions.
All I can say is I will take it in a little broader perspective and share with you. Uh, I don't know. See, maybe it is simply because one thing is about the sports person and the way I was brought up in Sainik School Bijapur, and the kind of environment my parents have brought me in. The way they have brought me up. Uh, they have always led by example. My parents have led by example, and in Sainik School, I saw people very committed, and my hockey coach. All these factors, when combined together, that energy is coming because if I see from broader perspective, I used to care for myself first, right? Let me be very honest. As an youngster, I cared for myself. I wanted to win. I wanted that, what to say, I wanted to celebrate my success in sports, I'm talking about, right? Then it came about my team. I started caring for my team, hockey team, because as a team we have to win. There were many individual occasions where I won individually, but then when I got into team, gymnastics team as well as hockey team, it was a feeling of team has to win. Now this thing has increased day by day, day
Yeah.
by day, day by day, day by day, day by day, and finally I started able to feel for the country, or in simple words, the youths of this country. When you start feeling, right, because see, I was that opportunity I had to serve this country through defense, that was taken away from me in the year 2005. But God gifted me one more platform through which I was able to connect to youths. right? And I feel that youths are
Yeah.
the one who can actually change the entire dynamics of this country. It's just we need to realize that. That's it. That it is like the sleeping lions. Youths are actually the sleeping lions right now. They don't have direction, unfortunately. So if you ask me, the kind of energy I get is simply because I have cared for the youths of this country. I know it may sound a little philosophical, but yes, that is an absolute truth. That is the reason today also, in spite of, I run 2 companies as an entrepreneur, but the major focus and the major vision I carry is how can I upskill 1 crore youths of this country? Because I know if 1 crore youths
Wonderful.
are upskilled, then they will be a valuable assets to this country. They are not. They won't be a liability. Today, right, the way engineering students, it's very strange that we are learning something which is outdated. Why India needs skilled entrepreneurs or skilled anything for that matter? China, look at China, same population as India, but why it is developed? Simply because they have the skilled force, and we don't have skilled population, unfortunately.
Yeah, actually.
So this is my vision, which I have taken, and maybe that is what drives me all the time from inside. And I have not been so happy when I have earned 6-figure income, but the kind of happiness I get when somebody just texts me that your words changed the entire direction of my life, complete 360-degree turn.
So nice.
This gives that bliss which very few people get a chance to experience, Vishalji. Don't you think so? You would have also experienced this. That one message
So true.
will make your day, make your month, or whatever it is. What do you say?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And luckily for us, we had worked in such an industry wherein there you need to appeal to people. And your success lies in
Success,
people's
exactly.
success. So there automatically it comes that these people need to win. And when you have this thing in your mind that this is not just a little bit of work that I need to do, this is my responsibility, because their responsibility takes care of my responsibility, right? My success. That becomes easy. And especially when you said that you got to have that kind of an intent that you really want to help people. And the moment you said that 1 crore individuals, trust me, we need a few more Vinay Patil in India right now.
I
A few more of them.
I'm on that quest of, I know that it is not possible individually by me. I need an army of people to bring that.
But 1 crore people, I am very sure you will take care of 1 crore people, but I am worried about 140 CR. So that means at least we need 140 Vinay Patils as well. So anyways, moving on to the last segment of it, and I really want to know from you, because you are there in direct selling. I'm continuing to do so, and then you have seen people, right? There are many people, those who come up for dreams, small dreams. They try to chase it. If at all it is possible, it's okay. If it doesn't work out, they leave and go out, and then they try something else. But then point is, it's okay to fulfill your dreams. It's okay to pursue your education. See, most of us belong to such a society wherein you need to
Yes.
fit in, right? We have to fit in. You cannot say that you don't need to fit in. You have to fit in so that you have that physical or emotional or psychological stability in your mind. But then, in spite of being an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer or a student or a professional who is working there in a reputed company, in an IT company, or a typical direct seller, like so many of them, right now in India 55 lakh direct sellers are there. Now the question is, I know it is easier to talk about patriotism. I know it is really easy to Desh Bhakti ke gaane suno, 15th of August, 26th of Jan. It's very easy. But can we be a little bit more than that, so that, being the youngest country on this planet Earth, can we be serving the nation, indirectly serving the whole world, right? Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that's what our philosophy has been. So I think if we serve the nation will serve the world. So how can we do it? How can we think about it? Age should not matter. Whether you are 18 or 80, it does not matter. A sacrifice is a sacrifice, right? A deed is a deed.
True.
How can they think about it?
The first thing I expect, you might be in any field. See, you don't have to be. Though my philosophy is that a country is called civilized or developed based on the way these 3 professions are valued by the citizens of the country. And which are those 3 professions? The defense, that is soldiers, then a farmer, then a teacher. If these 3 people are not respected in a country, see, I'm not telling we should not respect others, but primarily these 3 professions, if we don't value it, that shows that that country is not civilized according to me. Because the teacher is the one who can change everything around, turn around. Same thing applies to a farmer because he's feeding us, and the soldier who's protecting our life, playing with his life. So what, in that kind of a civilized notion, you don't have to get into all these three professions. If you get into those professions, well and good. Absolutely wonderful. You are contributing definitely to the growth of the nation in a much better way. But yes, you are also contributing indirectly through numerous ways. The best way to contribute to the growth of the country, according to me, is by changing the attitude of deriving happiness from receiving to deriving happiness from giving. If this one, see now, this attitude, no?
Okay.
The reason the country can't be developed is simply because people celebrate in receiving. I got this thing from government, I received this much fund from this person. We celebrate receiving. The day we start celebrating giving. Because the moment you give, you have that attitude of a victor, a winner. The moment you are in the attitude of receiving all the time, you tend to be a victim. All the time you want to be a victim because you need somebody's attention. And in this, you can read between the lines what I am trying to tell. When people celebrate, the day people start celebrating that I paid this much tax to government of India, that is when I personally feel that our country is going to shape in a much, as a mighty power or whatever you call. See, today, it's not that in Canada, if you ask about Canada, they have absolute free healthcare, absolute free education. But nobody sees this particular thing, that there are people who really pay tax to government of India, government of Canada. They pay that. They pay. That is why that is possible. Here, we always are busy it's okay to manage tax, but it is not good to evade tax. Why I'm bringing this topic, I know it is just a reference I'm giving. The best way to contribute for the country is if you change, the moment you change the attitude that, okay, I'm giving, if giving gives you happiness, right? Then you can't be a corrupt guy. As simple as that. You can't corrupt yourself because giving gives you happiness, not receiving. That giving can be that service, that giving can be that empathy for the person who is suffering. Giving is that being sensitive for others' feelings, because country is not built by some infrastructures. We may say that US has awesome flyovers, that is all fine. But if people are not good, what is the point of the country? Right? The same thing applies to India. We need people to be more, sensitive and empathetic. I'm not telling you need to be patriotic. You just care for your people. You extend your feelings. Don't you tell me a corrupt official or a robber or a thief or a murderer. Do you think that they are not good people? They are definitely good people only for their family. They are doing all these things for their family. At the end of the day, if you see, right, even the thief, he's robbing somebody so that he can keep his daughter happy, or maybe he has chosen the wrong path. But the feelings are same for those people.
Right.
What if we extend that family for every Indian to start with? Then we'll go for world. That is a different aspect where we treat humans with dignity, any other person, any race. But let's start with the country, right, first. So the best contribution, we are that valuable asset who derives happiness by giving, not by receiving. That will change most of the things, even in businesses also.
So asset that doesn't only go for income, salary or commission. The one who's ready to create something really new. See, trust me, I also believe the same, because look at US. You don't need patriotism to represent United States of America. They are all the people, those who came from rest of the world. No one is American as such. Right? They might have a green card or a citizenship card. That's the only denotation they have. That's the only demarcation they have, that, okay, fine, they belong to this country. But otherwise, they all have different origins. But that when they become the asset to their country, that's when country becomes stronger. Right? Well, there is this dialogue, right? There's this saying from JFK, I think. He said, "Ask not what my country can do for me. Ask what I can do for my country."
And in whatever way,
makes a
people can contribute. It's not like it has to be financially only. I said, right, you can be sensitive to other person. You just spread happiness. And see,
yes, indeed.
Talking of Swachh Bharat itself, right? We don't have to wait for a government to do something. See, I pitched on this particular word.
No doubt.
And that is attitude. Do you know what kind of attitude we Indians have, unfortunately? It is my right to create filth around. It is the responsibility of the government to clean it. My attitude should be, why should I even create filth first? Right? If these small things are taken care, that is the biggest contribution we can do for the country. These small things.
Yeah, we have cleanest homes, but the filthiest neighborhoods. Right? We
Because we are
so
not
much
extended our home
that
to
we
the
can
country, right? We are still limited to the country, as I said, with respect to the family.
actually. The Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is just a bookish word. We have forgotten the concept altogether.
No doubt about that.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. That's so nice. And I just to add to it, I told you the other day as well. See, I read something somewhere that सुबह सुबह घंटी बजती है दरवाजे की, 7 बजे वो घर का बच्चा दौड़ता दौड़ता जाता है और दरवाजा खोलता है. और जैसे ही दरवाजा खोलता है वो पूछता है कि मैडम कचरा. तो वो छोटा सा बच्चा पलट के मम्मी को जवाब देता है कि तो मम्मी कचरा वाला आया है. तो मम्मी कहती है बेटा कचरे वाले तो हम हैं, वो तो सफाई वाला है. If we just, words are so important. If you start changing those words, if you can start, changing our language, the way we speak, we can change our minds as well. And by changing our minds, our intentions, we can change the world around. It's so simple.
Very true, very true.
And we all have the power to do so.
Absolutely.
Isn't that? Wonderful, sir. Thank you so much, Vinay sir, for taking out your precious time. I know, and it's not that easy to, amongst you had that whole busy schedule, and you don't need to tell us. We know on social media that you are there, you are doing something. Most of the things are for free, so that you can bring that change. But instead, in spite of that, you took out some time just to talk to us. So thank you so much, and it's been wonderful. Trust me, sir, it's been wonderful. After so many years, we are meeting once again through digital platform. And it is as in we are meeting in the real one. And we knew each other for past 10, 12, 15 years. Now I have little bit of regret that I should have known you more. I should have met you more. I should have spoken to you more. So that this energy can be, transferred to some other people as well.
Never mind, sir, never mind.
Thank you so much, Vinay, sir.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure, Vishalji, that, the kind of questions you put, actually it took me back through my memory lane. And yes, sometimes these kind of questions, give you a chance to go and self-introspect, right? So thank you so much for taking me back through memory lane. I believe that the viewers, it would benefit them in one or the other way. And that would be a real accomplishment of this conversation, right? Thank you so much. You have been such a wonderful host. Thank you
I would love to call you again. Huh?
Anytime, sir, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Amazing. That's the only word that can describe today's session. Trust me, I really loved it. I really would love to thank Mr. Vinay Patil for taking out his precious time and discussing various insights of his life experience with us. There were so many goosebump moments during this session as well. Trust me, you get to learn a lot when you get an opportunity to dive deep in somebody's life, in someone's real struggle, in someone's real commitment. We learned so many things out of one such video. And if you are really loving it, please like, share and subscribe and send it across to all those people, those who are sitting idle and doing nothing. They really want to do, but they can't find a way. Trust me, it is our responsibility to hold that torch and show the way. If you are really loving it, send love and blessings to all of us and make sure it's time for us to change the world. It's time for us to change our lives. It's time for us to be the change that we want to see in the world. See you next week. Thank you so much.